am music. Servant and master am I. Servant to those dead, master to those living. Through me, spirits immortal speak the message that makes the world weep, laugh, wonder, and worship. I tell the story of love and the story of hate. The story that saves and the story that damns. I am close to the marriage altar, and when graves open, I am nearby. I call the wanderer home. I rescue the soul from the depths. I open the lips of lovers, and through me, the dead whisper to the living. One I serve as I serve all, and the king or queen I make my slave. I am heard by the birds in the air, the insects in the field, the crashing of water on rock-ribbed shores, and the sighing of wind in the trees. And I am even known by the soul who can hear me by the clatter of wheels on city streets. I know no brother or sister, yet all are my brothers and our sisters are mine. They are father and mother of the best that is in me, and I am father and mother of the best that is in them. For I am the instrument of God. I am music. Music is the magic of a secret world, secret world, secret world. The music is the magic of a secret world. It's a world where the spirit is at home. This music is the magic and a hiding place. It's a hiding place, hiding place. The music is the magic and a hiding place. It's a place where the spirit is within. The music is the magic through the raging storm, raging storm, raging storm. The music is the magic through the raging storm, but the storm is over again. ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-boy, ba-da-da-da-boy, ba-da-da-boy, ba-da-da-da-boy, da-boy, oh, ba-da-da-ah-oh. Music is the magic of a secret world. It's a secret world. It's a secret world. Music is the magic of a secret world. It's a place that is always within. The music is the magic of a secret world. It's a secret world. Secret world. Music is the magic of a secret world. It's a place where the spirit is at home. She's at home. She's at home. She's at home. How to best do this, hang on. I think I'll just do this. Voices swirl among the tongues of smoke, tallowed candles aglow, wrapping around the kaleidoscope of jeweled light dancing on the old oak floor. My tiny feet toddle, beckoning me ever forward toward this ritualistic and sensual feast taking place front and center of this sweet chapel where the magic is happening. Sitting with my sibs, I am far too removed from the nucleus and swirl of things. Choral voices singing in simple harmony where my parents join in alto and bass, respectively. I nestle in under mother's wing, resting my cheek against her cool and sweet, familiar skin. Father's voice and heart drums his basso warmth beside me, and I am grounded, safe. I am sonically hugged. It is sonically sacred. Decades have passed since that first early memory, and I have spent more hours making music, making meaning than not. Whether churches, temples, caves, retreat centers, jazz clubs, mountaintops, deserts, beachsides, parking lots, or even while working on the back wards of psychiatric facilities, music has held the magic, the thread, the portal to the womb of my soul. So much so that I consider myself perhaps a midwife of the soul, a doula through music. Slipping into a well-oiled pew, one Easter, I feel like a ball player sliding into home plate of their green cathedral. No need to crack a hymnal. These tunes are basses I have rounded thousands upon thousands of times. Ritualistic rounds revisited again and again and again. A fantastically hatted woman beside me returns my smile, clueless about the harmonic memories filling the spaces and bases between us. Innings that bring me to the inner journey where my Uncle Walt would say, I contain multitudes. Similarly, I was in India in 2015 studying ragas and chant with true masters, and we made a trip to a shrine. My friend and I wanted to go to the inner sanctuary for a blessing. We made sure to respect the ritual and bought our fabulously orange floral garlands as a gift outside of the temple before going in. We patiently waited in line for a time to go inside. Entering it was a tiny chapel-like inner sanctum. There was a fire burning beneath the altar, a cave-like alcove. Candles were lit everywhere, smoke creating a mystic atmosphere. We kneeled as directed. An intercessor asked me my name and took it to the man I would consider a grand priest. I couldn't understand a word of Hindi, but I knew when my name was lifted in prayer. It reminded me of the bishop coming to bless us all at our 12-year-old confirmation time. I wept as I heard my name lifted in prayer, pondering that I was being prayed for by someone who knew nothing about me, halfway around the world from my home in a tradition I knew very little about, and it made no difference. Give me candles, lights, and good music, and I am in. This is real. This is transcendence. This is home. I will find myself searching for and recreating this for the rest of my life. So why do I sing? Why do I not sing? Why would you not sing? That was my 3-year-old self. My 3-year-old self having that experience, toddling to be closer to the music, closer to the candles, closer, yes, to mother and father, closer to the nucleus of what was happening, what I experienced as sacred. I'm a sensual being. That's how I feel things. That's how I experience things. I know we're all different, but this is for me to tell you how I experience spirit, how I experience the world. So when I talk about the soul, I know we all have different ways of looking at things, but I tend to like the soul journey, the seven-step path of a pilgrimage. And I look at my life as a pilgrimage again and again, going through that. And in that, there is, I always forget the stages, but the first one is feeling that feeling of a longing. So you could say that, that little child had a longing, to go forward. Second is the call. Third is departure, the way, labyrinth, arrival, and then bringing back the boon. So today, is about the call. What was calling me? We're focusing on that part of the pilgrimage. Something was calling me forward at 3 years old. Well, the next part for me, gosh, so many things to tell you all. The next part for me was at age 7. And first, to even back up and tell you that I come from a long line of preachers, teachers, and musicians. So for me, it's all the same. But I remember at age 7, my house was filled with music, all kinds of music, but I heard this music and I came out and said, I'm a jazz baby, little jazz baby, that's me. Do you know this song? Yeah, thank you. Well, apparently I had seen the movie Thoroughly Modern Millie. I had to go back and track it down. But that, I'm busy doing everything musical in church, in school, and but I knew from age 7, I would hold my baton. I had a toy baton, and I would twirl it, but I really preferred to use it as a microphone. And I wanted to be a jazz singer, and knew this from age 7. But how to put together church life, spiritual life, jazz life, are they any different? Are they any different? So my house was filled with everything from, Lena Horne to Glenn Miller to Peter, Paul, and Mary to Shostakovich to Bach to you name it. It was a rich, rich tradition. And so I grew up doing all the things. So when we talk about the call, for me, I feel like the call kept coming and it kept evolving, and it keeps evolving even in my life now, and listening being so key. So at age 12, I remember also a greater call to spirituality. And if I had been born into a Catholic family in the Middle Ages, I would have gone to my parents and said, can I go to the convent now? The pull was that strong, and always to express musically. But I was not. And so how does one weave all that together? How does one do in one's life? Well, I got more involved in church life. I would be heading up the folk mass. I would be heading up the youth group music, all the things that I could partake in. And by the time I got to high school, trying to find where I could have jazz in my life, because for me, culturally, jazz was not available. And so I had to just jump into music in all the places where I could. So one night, I was 17, and I was the head of the chorale. I was, studying piano. I was doing all the things. Well, a friend and I snuck out, took the bus downtown because we wanted to go to a blues bar. And the call then, I really have searched my heart, was not to be an errant teenager, was not to go out drinking. I wanted to hear something real. I was doing all the Western classical music. I was doing all the things they told me I should do to learn to be a musician. But I needed something rooted. I needed to hear something different than me, and something grounded. And that was a call, and I pocketed that away. So also in that experience in high school, we had a career day, which was fantastic. And I heard a career person talk about music therapy. Bing! Light bulb went off in my head, literally a vision of a light bulb. And I thought, well, that's what I want to do. That somehow I can weave my music life into my desire for service. I know it's healed me, how much it moves me, how much it speaks me. And I know this is what I want to do. So when I went to look for colleges, I knew I didn't want to do conservatory. That was not the cloth of which I was cut out of. I wanted music, and they had to have music therapy. And so off I went. So when I got to college, it was very interesting because I studied piano, voice, and dance, because, as I told you, I'm a sensual being, and I needed to do all the things. Piano was my juried instrument, actually, at that time. And but they had me singing, and this is interesting because if you know music, I was singing like Mozart's Queen of the Night aria. My voice was stratospheric. But what that did for me, what I knew in my body, is that I could not keep singing up there and live on the ground. As you know, my voice now is quite low. In a way, over the years, I've purposely done that with my voice so that I stay grounded, because I needed to be in my body. I needed to be here on the ground, in my body. I was a child who really kind of had a hard time staying in her body because my little spirit just wanted to go woo, 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 off. So I would sing the Queen of the Night aria, and they wanted me to go off and do this coloratura thing, with my life. And I thought, I just don't want to do that with my life. That's just not, I want to sing that a million times. Thank you, I've done it. And so I would then, go off and sing in the jazz bars at night. So ethereal, grounded. It's like the matrix. To me, it's like the cross. How do you bring heaven down to earth and live it here as a human on earth? This has been my life quest. And how is that healing? In a way, I was healing myself. And how can I share that with others? And at this, so post-college, I had a job as a music therapist by day in a psych hospital and was singing jazz at night. So again, day, night, service, things for myself, kind of keeping things all in balance. So, I love Joseph Campbell, and well, you may not know that, but those of you who know me know that. One of his quotes that I so adore is when I talk about that soul journey, the pilgrimage, he says, the hero's journey always begins with the call. One way or another, a guide must come to you and say, look, you're in sleepy land. Wake up. Come on a trip. There is a whole aspect of your consciousness, your being, that's not being touched. So you're at home here? Well, there's not enough of you there. And so it starts. And so I would say that, all along my life, there have been either people or things that call to me that say, wake up, this, turn here, do this. And so, midlife came along, and you do the things you do. I got married, I had a child, I maintained my life. I actually taught at Paideia for 10 years. Those of you who know me through that part of life. Did some music therapy on the side, did some singing on the side for a while, and just kind of maintained kind of a plateau for a while. But let's go here, long as you're living. Forgive me if I seem to preach, but there is something that I want to say, a message that I hope will reach people who are throwing life away. Call it my philosophy. That is why I pass it on to you, because it works so well for me. Helps me get away from strife. Hope you'll listen carefully. Say the truth can make you free. That's the way I want to be, because brother, this is your life. Long as you're living, always remember, time is for spending, but there's an ending. While you are sleeping, life is a-creeping. Wake up and taste it, foolish to waste it. Sample and savor all of life's flavor, long as you're living. Long as you're living, always remember, folks who are lazy are playing crazy. Better keep moving, keep on improving. You won't be hurried after you're buried. Live every minute and put yourself in it, long as you're living. Long as you're living, always remember, you'll never beat life. Don't try to cheat life. Sisters and brothers, do unto others. Love's for enjoying, hate's for destroying. Never forget it and you'll regret it, long as you're living. Long as you're living, always remember, you'll never cheat life. Don't. Sisters and brothers, do unto others. Love's for enjoying. Never forget it or you'll regret it, long as you're living. Forgive me if I seem to preach, but there was something that I had to say, a message that I hope will reach people who are throwing life away. Call it my philosophy. That is why I pass it on to you, because it works so well for me. Helps me get away. You know you'll never need it. Sisters, this is your life. So I had to wake up a little bit. This is your life. Wake up, wake up. And so one summer I found myself looking for camps and things that my daughter might do for the summer. And I just thought, she's having more fun than I am. There's something wrong with this picture. Mom needs to have some fun. And so, for a music therapy license, you do have to keep continuing education. And so I was looking around for things I could do. And so I saw some continuing education that I could do with Bobby McFerrin. I went, oh, that sounds like fun. And if you don't know who he is, wonderful jazz musician, great improviser, and just a master in the field. And so got in, went, did that, and it changed my life. Some of you know that experience that I've been through, but it really changed the course of my life by listening, having the longing, hearing the call, and following the call. Now, what I want to make sure that I tell you that there's answering a call, but in that soul journey of taking a pilgrimage even through life, the most important thing that I learned from my dear friend Phil Kuzno, The Art of Pilgrimage, is bringing back the boon. What is it you do with that? You can hear the call. You can have the longing. You can take some of the steps. But what do you do with it? If you don't bring back the gold or the nugget, if you make it back from the pilgrimage, and share it with others, it's lost. It doesn't get integrated. It doesn't do anything. It just becomes your little thing. Okay, like what would it be? I can sing at home, and that is its own experience. Tyrone could have stayed home today, and we all could have stayed home today. But if you don't come and share, what happens or what doesn't happen? So after my life got turned upside down, it created a lot of chaos, I can tell you that. It created a lot of chaos. But everything that came out of it was magical. And I continued to also ask, to dare to ask and you shall receive. Boy, did I receive. There was a point in time after that, my sister said, you have so many doors and windows open, you need to start closing some. Because life opened up. Life opened up. So what did I do? Mary White will recall, she's slipped out, but I came home and I went, okay, I've learned how to do this thing called circle singing, and I'll be brief, but and improvisational skills, and I gathered friends that I knew could perhaps play with me, and I said, I've learned this new thing, will you gather with me and commit for 6 weeks so I can practice my skills? They did willingly, and the next thing you know, I'm teaching in the schools, and the next thing you know, I'm performing this and that, and the next thing you know, my CD career takes off, and I'm jazz charts, and and I get to know great Dr. Tyrone Jackson over here. Let's give him an applause, right? Life takes off, and so the great thing I just want to tell you is that it's keeping the flame alive. And I have so much I could share with you, but I do want to leave you all time for questions. And one of my favorite quotes also is from Howard Thurman, before I even knew who Howard Thurman was. I love this. Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive, and go do it. Because what the world needs is more people who have come alive. So I wrote a song called Fuego Sagrado, which means the fire of God or sacred fire. So I'll end with this song before we have some Q&A. It is in Spanish, but I will tell you that it means that we all walk under the same sun, under the same clouds, and that we are all one. One, two, 1, 2, 3. despertar en ti la luz del corazón, en respiro que abrazo nuestro interior. Ese fuego sagrado en ti viene de Dios. Ese fuego divino es pasión sin condición, que renace entre las huellas de tu palpitar. Somos rayos de un mismo sol, somos aguas de un mismo mar, un camino que dibuja una sola verdad. En mi alma se escribe una canción. Es un sueño, un mantra, una oración. Un encuentro profundo que apaga mi razón, revelando en mis pasos la voz del razón, que renace entre las huellas de tu palpitar. Somos hijos de un mismo cielo, somos tierra de un mismo andar, un camino que dibuja una sola verdad. Somos hijos de un mismo cielo, somos tierra de un mismo andar, un camino que dibuja una sola verdad. Despertar en ti la luz del corazón, en un respiro que abrazo nuestro interior. Ese fuego sagrado en ti viene de Dios. Ese fuego divino es pasión sin condición, que renace entre las huellas, que renace entre las huellas, que renace entre las huellas de tu palpitar.